Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ihoma. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 things you must do before you rent an apartment. 10 money saving tips. This is coming from years and years of experience. I've been renting houses for a long time now. I believe that if I make this a book, it's going to be a bestseller. So if you're coming across this video just before you're renting a space or renting an apartment, then you are in luck. So if this is something you like to listen to, please keep watching. The first thing you must do is to stick to your budget. Finance experts suggest your yearly rent shouldn't be more than your monthly salary. Having a budget for your yearly rent, which is your 1 month salary, is best situation and ideal situation, but you are allowed to stretch it maximum 3 months salary. Your salary for 3 months should be able to pay your yearly rent. Anything above that, you'll be shooting yourself in the leg. And I know what I'm talking about. So stick to your budget, and your budget would inform the area where you look for a house. You're gonna regret it if you go rent a house in a place that is way above your budget. Number 2, see it first. I know there are a lot of apps and sites these days, a lot of real estate property sites where you can hook up with an agent, see pictures, sometimes even videos, and you just say, oh, I like that one. Don't just pay based on what other people have said. Also, all the parties involved should see the house. So if you have a partner, if you have a husband or a wife, don't just pay for the house till the person sees it. I'm talking from experience. It could cost you a lot. So make sure both parties involved, or all the parties involved, see it with their optical eyes, as in koro, like we say in Nigeria. See it by yourself, and make sure that the agent you're using is a reputable one. The third tip, I believe that the best time to look for a house is during rainy season. But if for some reason you're not able to find a house around the rainy season where you can look at the street and determine how things go down, whether it floods, look at the house, find out if it floods. Because if you rent an apartment that floods or leaks, you will not be a happy person living there during the rainy season. And anything that takes away your peace is going to cost you money, because you are going to try to do anything you can, including spend money, to get your life back to normal. So look out for telltale signs, things that shows that the place floods or the place leaks. You can look at the walls and see if you find watermarks. Some of these houses are actually dipping. You see that the house is dipping. Don't go there. Number 4, don't rent a tumble down cottage, a dilapidated apartment. Do not rent. Don't tell yourself that you are going to renovate the place. You're going to end up building a house for someone. In fact, it will get to the point that when people hear you over the phone talking to all the different artisans, they're going to think you're building a house. True story. It happened to us. So don't rent a dilapidated apartment at all, unless they are giving it to you for almost free, which I doubt. Or if they claim they are going to repair, and if they say they're going to repair the place, make sure you touch every tap, every handle before you move in. Make sure that everything is working. All the doors, the drawers, the light, electric, touch it, put it on, the tap, plumbing, make sure it's all working. You do not want to be repairing these things with your money. It will just put a hole in your pocket. Number 5, make sure you're not inheriting any bills, especially light bills. For those of us in Nigeria, this thing called prepaid meter Not every house had it, especially the older houses. So moving into a house that was using estimated bill, if they were not meeting up with their bill payments, you now move into the apartment, they'll now tell you that the flat is owing 1 million naira, 250,000. You don't want to be doing that. It's very frustrating. Number 6, look out for a secure neighborhood. You do not want to live in a neighborhood where you start losing things, most especially human life. I always try to make sure that at least last the street has a gate. There's some sort of restriction that comes from it, just to know that there's somebody you can ask a question if something goes wrong. And if you're downsizing into a smaller neighborhood, be sure to be security conscious. Don't downsize to a smaller neighborhood and then start flashing around with luxury cars and luxury wares. Every day you drive past people who are just sitting outside doing nothing. True story. One day they'll pay you a visit. I've had such an encounter. A story for another day. So if you are moving into a place, security is very, very important, because there's no point earning money and throwing it away on thieves stealing your this or that and all that, robbing you of hard-earned stuff. You do not want that. Number 7, aim for upstairs. It might not happen like that for you all the time, but aim to be on the top floor for so many reasons. Plumbing issues is always worst on the ground floor. The ground floor is also a smaller space. The airflow is also better upstairs than this very particular one. If you must stay on the ground floor, make sure that your flat is not the corner where everyone will park their generator or generator sets. I and my husband has been unfortunate to be guests in a flat where the room was just by the corner where all the flats, and this is a building that has about 8 flats total, all the flats, the corner where the gen sets stay was just by that room. The noise, the fumes, oh boy, it was horrible experience. It's one of the most horrible experiences of my life till date. The worst part was our hosts had to put off their own generator by 12. So that meant heat, lots of heat, plus more noise. You know how noisy it gets when your own gen is not on and other people's generators are all just blasting off. It's even more noisy when you cannot enjoy life. So imagine being in the dark with the heat and the mosquitoes, and then the noise of all the generators, then the fumes. Could even say, okay, let's open up the windows and get whatever semblance of fresh air, because the generator fumes were so much that even with the windows closed, a little of it was still seeping in. That's horrible. So number 8 on this list, read the agreement. Not every house will have an agreement, but if they do, make sure you read it. We once lived in a house where on the lease agreement was written that you cannot have more than 2 cars. But we didn't know that till we read it. And at that time of our lives, we had 2 cars and were expecting a 3rd car. But fortunately, as the 3rd car was coming in, we were already due to sell the 2nd one. So we didn't have to look for where to park it. Number 9, negotiate. Negotiate the price. If they say it's 1 million, ask, can I pay 800? Nobody will kill you. If they say it's 800, ask, can I pay 500? Negotiate. If they say it's 10, don't just carry all of it and put it inside your pocket. Wham. Ask, please, can you give me a discount? But if you sense that this is a good deal based on all that you have seen, don't hesitate. If it's a good deal, close it as fast as possible before someone else takes it. Because when it comes to house hunting, house search, is it first come, first serve basis? Yeah, first come, first serve basis. Do not slack. If you see what you like, if it's within your budget, don't hesitate to pay, but don't be afraid to ask for a discount. You'll be surprised that they'll give it to you. I've actually had an experience where I heard the house is 800, and then I'm like, is there no discount? And then 1 or 2 calls were made and they said, okay, you can pay 700. And now we're at number 10, pay to the landlord. In fact, make sure you meet the landlord virtually or physically. Do not just pay to an agent, except the landlord himself tells you by himself to do that. So make sure you are paying to the landlord, especially if you are one of my fellow Nigerians. You do not want to be duped. There are a lot of fast guys out there, and you do not want your money in the wrong hands. So I'm going to give a bonus tip. This bonus tip is a tip I'm passionate about, especially recently. If you do not take anything away from this video, take away this bonus tip. Fact, I feel like this bonus tip should be its own video, but let's go with it as a bonus tip for now. Do not rent a space based on your luggage, your load, rishi things, all the different things you have in your house. Don't say, these things I have will not enter into a 2-bedroom, for instance. Let me rent a 3-bedroom. Don't do that. Don't do it. What you need is storage, not a bigger apartment. So you can create storage, a lot of storage options in your house, under your bed. That's big real estate going on in there. Make that a storage solution. And find out creative ways of putting cupboards and storage in different parts of the house. And by the time you know it, everything you own will be swallowed up and you will still have lots of storage spaces left. For us, we've had that experience of always renting a 3-bedroom flat, and one of the rooms will always be just a load room. No one will even be sleeping there. That was a lot of waste of resources. So save yourself that money of paying bigger rents for a bigger apartment by creating storage solutions in an apartment that suits you. And if you're already living in a space like what I just described, where you're using one of the rooms for just luggage, all is not lost. You can still make your storage options. Find out if you can sublet that room and earn money on it, or use it for Airbnb. If you know the site called Airbnb, where you can host people and earn while you do that, so it doesn't go to waste. And that's all we have for this video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you got value from this video, please click the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe already. Subscribe. And thank you to everyone who is a returning subscriber. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see all of you in my next video. Bye.